Versailles, a palace where power was staged like a grand performance, a place of gold-covered gates, endless gardens, mirrored halls, and shadows that still whisper the secrets of kings and queens long gone. But behind its beauty lies something deeper. Stories buried within walls, mysteries left unsolved, and events that still puzzle historians today. In this documentary, we journey beyond the glittering facade into the hidden world of the Palace of Versailles. A world of forbidden passages, royal intrigues, unexplained encounters, and secrets that refuse to fade. At first glance, Versailles seems like a perfectly documented palace, but the truth is far more complex. The palace is believed to contain over 2,300 rooms, yet not all of them are mapped. Over centuries of renovations, wars, and political shifts, corridors were sealed, chambers forgotten, and layers of the palace simply erased. Historical records reveal references to rooms that appear in no surviving architectural plans. Scholars call them phantom rooms. Most of these mysterious spaces were likely used for secret diplomatic meetings, private encounters between members of the royal court, or hidden observation points used by servants and spies. One of the strangest examples comes from the era of Louis XV. Diaries from his closest advisors mention a high chamber without door or window, where confidential conversations took place. But today, that room cannot be found. Is it gone? Or simply hidden behind a wall no one has thought to open? The French Revolution brought chaos and fear into the palace, and one of the most iconic moments occurred when the mob surged into Versailles in October 1789. Marie Antoinette was only seconds away from being captured, but she survived thanks to a secret door, one that looked like an ordinary wall panel in her bedroom. Behind that panel lay a narrow passageway, part of a network of corridors known only to a few. She fled through the hidden route, escaping into the king's chambers just in time. For years, people wondered, how many secret passages did the queen have? Modern research shows that her private apartments contain several concealed doors. Some lead to service corridors, others to locked rooms that are still not publicly accessible. These hidden paths show a different reality. Even the most powerful people in Versailles lived in constant fear. The Hall of Mirrors is one of the palace's most famous attractions, a stunning gallery of reflections, and yet it has inspired countless legends. Some visitors over the centuries reported seeing figures moving across the mirrors that weren't in the room, glimpses of people wearing clothing from centuries earlier, or shadows that appeared to walk behind the glass. Of course, these are easy to dismiss as distortions of light, but there is something undeniably eerie about the Hall of Mirrors. During the 18th century, the French court believed mirrors could capture energy, memories, emotions, even the essence of those who walked past them. And in a hall where treaties were signed, alliances broken, and lives changed forever, one has to wonder, what echoes still remain? One of Versailles' strangest mysteries comes not from the 1700s, but from 1901. Two English academics, Charlotte Moberly and Moberly-Jourdain, visited the palace gardens. As they wandered near the Petit Trianon, they suddenly felt a strange heaviness in the air. The sunlight dimmed, the atmosphere shifted, and then they claimed to see people dressed in 18th century clothing. A woman sketching on the grass, guards wearing outdated uniforms, a strange, unfamiliar landscape. When they later checked the palace archives, none of what they saw matched the modern layout, but it did match descriptions from the time of Marie Antoinette. They believed they had slipped through time. Skeptics dismissed the story, but others point to the consistency of their accounts. Even today, the incident remains one of the most famous alleged cases of spontaneous time travel. Versailles may be grand, but it is built on centuries of suffering, political manipulation, and violence. So it's no surprise that ghost stories have always circulated. Visitors and night guards have reported footsteps echoing through empty halls, the faint sound of court music, doors closing on their own, and apparitions dressed in period clothing. One recurring figure is said to resemble a woman in a simple white dress, believed by some to be the ghost of Marie Antoinette during her final days at Versailles. Whether these stories are real or imagined, they reveal an undeniable truth. Versailles lives on in people's minds, not just as a palace, but as a memory that refuses to die. Versailles gardens seem peaceful, but they were designed with a deeper purpose. They were a political message written in plants, fountains, and pathways. Louis XIV, the Sun King, wanted visitors to feel overwhelmed by the magnitude of his power. But hidden within the gardens are astrological alignments, symbolic statues referencing mythological power, and fountains arranged according to geometric codes. Some historians believe the entire garden is a symbolic map of the cosmos, a physical representation of the king at the center of the universe. And then there are the underground parts, a vast, lesser-known network of tunnels carrying water to the fountains. Many of these tunnels are still not fully explored, and some have collapsed or been sealed off. What lies beneath the gardens of Versailles remains largely unknown. Throughout the 17th and 18th centuries, Versailles was considered the perfect location for secret societies, Freemasons, esoteric philosophers, astrologers, and occultists. Letters preserved from the period reference midnight meetings, hidden gatherings, and coded rituals. One rumor claims that Louis XIV consulted a mysterious astrologer who lived in a concealed chamber somewhere within the palace. No record confirms this, but stories of a shadow counselor have persisted for centuries. Whether true or not, the myth speaks to a deeper reality. Versailles was never just a palace. It was a stage for power, and power always attracts shadows. Few people know that Louis XVI, long before the Revolution, was fascinated by science, especially locksmithing and chemistry. Hidden away from the court, he maintained a small secret workshop within the palace. There, he experimented with early mechanical locks, chemical mixtures, and even prototypes of gadgets that seemed far ahead of their time. Some say that unfinished mechanisms from his workshop still lie in storage rooms rarely opened by palace staff. These relics of a king's private curiosity remain one of Versailles' lesser-known mysteries. The Palace of Versailles stands as one of humanity's greatest architectural achievements. But its true power lies not in its gold, its mirrors, or its gardens. It lies in its secrets, in its hidden rooms, its forgotten corridors, its unexplained encounters, and the memories etched into every stone. Versailles is more than history. It is a living puzzle, one that continues to challenge, inspire, and haunt those who walk its halls. And perhaps that is why, even after centuries, the palace still captivates us. Because deep down, we know there are stories still waiting to be uncovered, and secrets that Versailles may never fully reveal.